Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into The Way of Zen, a seminal work that not only outlines the origins and fundamentals of Zen Buddhism, but also applies its philosophy to our fast-paced modern lives. Written in 1957 by Alan Watts, a prominent figure in bringing Eastern philosophy to Western audiences, this book stands as a guide to finding peace and joy amidst the chaos of change. Through The Way of Zen, Watts provides a compelling introduction to Zen, from its historical roots in India and China to its fruition in Japan, and how its principles can be applied to find mental stillness in a world that's always moving. This book is an essential read for anyone interested in exploring Eastern philosophy, challenging their perceptions, or simply seeking solace in the midst of uncertainty. Whether you're new to the teachings of Zen, a longtime admirer of Alan Watts, or someone looking to explore new ways of thinking, this enriching exploration into Zen Buddhism is sure to offer profound insights into the art of living in the present. Join us as we encapsulate the essence of finding balance and joy through the Way of Zen. The Way of Zen, the history and core principles of the Eastern philosophy of Zen. Introduction. Discovering tranquility. Dive into the essence of Zen. In our bustling lives, many of us have stumbled upon the concept of Zen during moments when we crave tranquility. Whether we describe an uncluttered space as Zen or wish to find our Zen amidst chaos, the term has seamlessly woven itself into the fabric of Western dialogue. However, the depth of Zen, with its rich history and intricate principles, often remains a mystery beyond the surface-level association with peace and calmness. Enter Alan Watts, a prolific writer and philosopher, who extends an invitation to explore the multifaceted world of Zen. With a penchant for making the complex accessible, Watts endeavors to navigate us through the mystical aura that surrounds Zen, aiming to clarify its paradoxes and present its profound truths in an understandable manner. Embarking on this journey with Watts, we find ourselves tracing the origins of Zen back to its roots in Chinese Taoism. It's here that we begin to unveil the tapestry of Zen, understanding its evolution and how it came to embody principles that at times challenge our conventional ways of thinking. One of the pivotal explorations in this journey addresses the nature of knowledge and understanding. Watts prompts us to question what it truly means to comprehend something. In the realm of Zen, the pursuit of knowledge transcends mere intellectual accumulation. It's an experiential wisdom that seeks to harmonize with the essence of existence. Moreover, the quest for self-realization in Zen poses another intriguing question. Are we already the Buddha? This reflection challenges the linear narrative of seeking enlightenment outside ourselves, directing the gaze inward to the potential that resides within. Equally compelling is the Zen perspective on the construction of reality. Watts posits that our experiences are not merely passive occurrences, but rather we are active participants in shaping our own realities. This insight beckons us to reconsider the role of our perceptions, attitudes, and actions in the tapestry of our lives. Through the lens of Zen, what initially appears paradoxical gradually unveils layers of profound wisdom. Alan Watts's guidance on this journey not only demystifies Zen, but also offers us a window into viewing the world and ourselves through a transformed, more enlightened perspective. By delving into the essence of Zen, we're invited to discover a path that leads to a deeper understanding of tranquility, awareness, and the interconnectedness of all things. Part 1. Breathing life into wisdom. Unlocking the Taoist roots of Zen. Consider for a moment the simple act of breathing. You do it unconsciously, without a moment's pause to contemplate the complex mechanisms at play. Yet, if asked to detail the physiological intricacies that enable this vital process, many would find themselves at a loss. Herein lies a fascinating parallel to the Taoist conception of knowledge, a key philosophical strand that weaves its way into the fabric of Zen Buddhism. Let's delve into how Chinese Taoist philosophy serves as the bedrock for Zen Buddhism. The journey begins with the I Ching, or Book of Changes, an ancient manuscript dating back to between 3000 and 1200 BC. This seminal text introduces a method of divination predicated on observing hexagram patterns, which are then interpreted using the I Ching to forecast future events. While the modern mind might balk at decision-making through oracles, this method underscores a profound truth about human intuition and decision-making. Consider your own decision-making process. How do you know when you've amassed enough data to make a so-called rational decision? There's invariably more information to uncover, hinting that waiting for absolute certainty might render decision-making impossible. Here, Taoist wisdom illuminates a vital lesson. Our best choices often stem from a deep-seated intuition, a sense, if you will, of being in harmony with the Tao, or the Way. It suggests that clarity of mind and trust in one's innate capabilities are key to unlocking effective decision-making. This foundational Taoist belief in clear-mindedness and reliance on natural intuition seamlessly transitions into Zen Buddhism, highlighting the importance of trusting the mind's inherent wisdom. Just as one does not labor to improve the tongue's ability to taste, so too should one not force the mind beyond its natural capacity for understanding. In articulating this connection between Taoism and Zen, we're invited to appreciate the subtle art of trusting our inner wisdom and the natural processes that guide us. It sets the stage for exploring how Buddhism mingled with Taoist thought, giving birth to the Zen tradition that today intriguingly blends introspection with an acceptance of life's fluidity and inherent wisdom. Part 2. From Buddha's Enlightenment to Zen's Awakening. Imagine sitting beneath a sprawling tree, hunger gnawing at your belly after years of austerity and relentless meditation. This was the reality for a man who, in his quest for understanding, became the Buddha. After years of rigorous spiritual discipline that brought him no closer to understanding his true self, he embraced simplicity and nourishment under a tree. It was here, in a moment of profound simplicity, that he stumbled upon a revelation that would resonate through the ages: the futility of grappling with the concept of one's own existence. This monumental insight marks the birth of Buddhism and lays the foundational stone for what would later blossom into Zen. The essence of Buddhism traces back to the teachings of the Buddha in ancient India around the 5th to the 4th century BC. However, the crystallization of his teachings into the written word, in the form of the Pali Canon, didn't occur until approximately 400 years after his time. This delay means that Buddhism was nurtured in the rich soil of oral tradition long before it ever graced the page, making the Buddha's original teachings somewhat enigmatic. Central to Indian spirituality is a captivating narrative: the cosmic sacrifice of God, Atma Yajna, through which the divine essence fragmented, scattering sparks of divinity across the universe. The spiritual odyssey of each soul is imagined as a journey of reintegration with this primordial unity, the source of all existence. To embark on this journey, Buddhism teaches, one must untangle oneself from all forms of material and conceptual identification. Your essence is not confined to your body, your thoughts, nor your emotions. Nor does it reside in the roles you occupy, whether as a parent, a professional, or any other label society might bestow upon you. This teaching introduces a profound yet often perplexing concept, particularly to Western minds: negative knowledge. This concept emphasizes understanding oneself by first recognizing what one is not, rather than through positive identification. The tangible and concrete realities, so often sought after in the Western quest for understanding, elude this perspective. Consider the start of the First World War, a date recorded in history books, yet one that a closer examination reveals to be but a single point in a complex web of preceding events. This invites us to question the very notion of concrete historical facts, suggesting instead that many of our distinctions and categorizations are the product of human construct, what an Indian Buddhist might call Maya, or illusion. At the heart of Buddhism, and later Zen, lies the quest to free oneself from the shackles of these illusions, to see beyond the constructed narratives and touch the true essence of existence. This profound understanding that emerged under a tree centuries ago continues to inspire and challenge, inviting us on a journey to awaken to the reality beyond the veil of Maya. Part 3. A deeper dive into consciousness, Mahayana Buddhism's revolutionary insight. When faced with the intricate questions about selfhood and the genesis of existence, the Buddha famously remained silent, suggesting that such queries were beside the point of the spiritual quest. This stance, however, didn't fully satisfy a group of thinkers who would come to form the Mahayana Buddhist tradition. They weren't looking to rewrite the spiritual script, but were driven by a profound interest in the workings of their own minds. This divergence set the stage for what would become the underpinnings of Zen Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism emerged as a distinct path between the 1st and 3rd centuries BC, born from a desire to make the journey toward enlightenment more immediate and accessible. It proposed an alternative that promised the possibility of reaching enlightenment within a single lifetime, a radical departure from the long, reincarnation-spanning quest described in traditional Buddhism. However, embarking on Mahayana's path to understanding is no easy feat. It involves navigating a labyrinth of complex logic centered around the very nature of reality and the self. At the core of Mahayana Buddhism is the idea that the very act of trying to grasp the essence of reality is a futile endeavor. If reality itself remains beyond our reach, then enlightenment, understood as some tangible achievement, similarly eludes our grasp. Following this line of thought, if reality is but an illusion, then so too is the concept of the ego, the self. This leads to a paradoxical conclusion. The pursuit of enlightenment is a pursuit of something that has never truly been lost, because in the essence of Mahayana, we are already enlightened. But here lies a subtle trap. The moment you attempt to stop seeking enlightenment in order to achieve it, you're still ensnared by the very desire to attain it, whether through action or inaction. Mahayana Buddhism offers a way out of this conundrum by inviting us to relinquish the very desire for enlightenment itself. Since the true nature of enlightenment is beyond our comprehension, aspiring to achieve it means denying our inherent enlightened state. This profound realization is at the heart of Zen Buddhism, that in searching for the Buddha within, we obscure the fact that we are already the Buddha. Mahayana Buddhism, therefore, not only resolves the psychological puzzles presented by traditional Buddhist thought, but also lays the philosophical groundwork for Zen. It's a journey that shifts focus from seeking enlightenment as an external goal to recognizing enlightenment as our original state, forever altering our engagement with the spiritual quest. Part 4. Tracing the Roots of Zen, a tale of monks and enlightenment. Amidst the mists of history, the narrative of Zen's voyage to China is often colored by the dramatic tale of Bodhidharma, an Indian monk who, in 520 AD, is said to have brought Zen to the Chinese Empire. His encounters with Emperor Wu of Liang, marked by differences in temperament and spiritual vision, eventually led Bodhidharma to solitude in a monastery. There he would meet Huiko, the future second patriarch of Zen in China. While this tale captivates the imaginations of many within the Zen school, its historical veracity remains a topic of speculation. Instead, a fuller picture of Zen's origins might be gleaned from the teachings of Seng Chao, a monk whose insights during 400 AD significantly contributed to the Zen ethos. Zen, as it came to be known, flourished through the insights of these pioneering monks. Central to Seng Chao's contribution was his nuanced understanding of time and change. Contrary to Western perceptions of linear progression, Seng Chao posited that each moment exists in isolation, disconnected from past or future events. This perspective, that the only reality is the present moment, forms a cornerstone of Zen philosophy. As the sands of time carried Zen forward, another figure emerged to shape its course, Huineng. Renowned for introducing the concept of Qi, Huineng emphasized the expression of Zen through actions and words devoid of symbolic garnish. This often led to interactions that might confound those unversed in Zen teachings. For instance, when tasked with elucidating spiritual matters, a Zen master might instead comment on the day's weather, leaving the seeker to discern the deeper meaning without further guidance. Consider the monk Chao Chao, who, when asked about the spirit, simply said, "This morning it's windy again." Such responses, puzzling as they might seem, are intended to be direct expressions of the master's Buddha nature, manifesting spontaneously and without preconception. The legacy of Huineng upon his passing was carried forward by 5 disciples. Among them, 2 would lay the foundations of what are now the principal schools of Zen in Japan. Their teachings, born from the enlightened insights of monks like Seng Chao and Huineng, continue to resonate, guiding practitioners to the realization that enlightenment manifests not in the seeking but in the being of each present moment. Part 5. Embracing the Zen perspective, beyond the illusion of self. In our relentless quest for happiness, we often find ourselves caught in a paradox. We yearn for perpetual joy, imagining it as a state devoid of discomfort or despair. Yet, Zen philosophy invites us to contemplate the futility of such desires, revealing the profound truth that the pursuit of happiness is built upon illusions that our minds concoct. At the heart of Zen is a transformative insight. Life is not about segregating experiences into desirable and undesirable, but recognizing the interconnectedness of all experiences. Consider the analogy of seeking comfort on a hard bed. Initially, shifting from one side to another may bring temporary relief, but soon discomfort resumes, reflecting the nature of comfort itself as inseparable from the sensation of discomfort. This illustration isn't just about physical restlessness, but a metaphor for life's inherent dualities. Zen challenges the notion of being at the mercy of fate, suggesting instead that our experiences are not imposed upon us from the outside. Imagine standing in the sweltering heat of summer. According to Zen, it's not that the external temperature causes you to sweat. Rather, the experience of sweating is synonymous with the heat itself. This perspective extends to our understanding of mind and body, seeing them not as recipients of external circumstances, but integral to the very existence of those circumstances. The concept of the self is another area where Zen provides profound clarity. In attempting to define ourselves, we often rely on a collection of adjectives or significant experiences, but fail to capture the essence of our being. Zen posits that this notion of self is an illusion, a construct of our minds, that distills our existence into a symbolic representation, detached from our immediate reality. Therefore, Zen urges us to look beyond these constructed narratives, to see that the essence of who we are cannot be captured in static definitions or past events. Instead, our true self is the ongoing flux of awareness, the direct experience of the present moment in its fullness. In shattering the illusion of an isolated self, Zen helps us appreciate our intrinsic connection to the wider tapestry of life, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of happiness, not as a distant goal, but as a reality entwined with the full spectrum of human experience. Part 6. The Zen of Being. Celebrating spontaneity and naturalness. In the heart of Zen philosophy lies a celebration of naturalness and spontaneity, principles that guide us towards embracing life in its raw, unadulterated form. Zen encourages us to exist without the constant pursuit of being something other than what we inherently are, inviting us into a space where simply being is enough. This notion of aimlessness, of embracing the virtue of doing nothing, may confound the Western ethos of constant productivity and purpose. Yet it's a reminder that the essence of much in the universe, from the effortless grace of a cat to the automatic function of our ears, exists in a state of natural spontaneity. Naturalness is at the core of Zen, where the genuine expression of emotions in response to life's unfolding scenario is not only accepted but honored for its authenticity. Consider the monk who, upon hearing of a loved one's passing, did not suppress his tears but allowed them to flow freely. When questioned, his simple rebuttal, "I'm weeping because I want to weep," underscores the Zen emphasis on genuine, unforced expressions of human emotion. Zen transcends mere action. It encompasses the realm of words as well. The anecdote of Zen master Yunmen, whose response to a query about Buddhism's ultimate secret was a seemingly mundane dumpling, illustrates this beautifully. Unlike a contrived or analytical answer, Yunmen's response sprung forth from a place of unfiltered naturalness, conveying profound truths in the simplicity of a single word. The spontaneous insight known as satori, akin to a sudden revelation or recognition of a profound truth, further embodies this principle. Whether it manifests as a momentous understanding of Buddhist doctrines or the unexpected recollection of a forgotten name, satori represents a clarity of realization that pierces through ordinary consciousness, unencumbered by the analytical mind. However, it's crucial to distinguish the Zen celebration of spontaneity from a blanket endorsement of impulsiveness. Zen is not an invitation to capriciously act on every fleeting impulse. Rather, it advocates for the removal of mental obstructions that hinder the mind's intrinsic capability to flow freely and authentically. By embracing Zen's teachings on spontaneity and naturalness, we are encouraged to dissolve the artificial confines that restrict our spiritual and existential expression, allowing our true nature to emerge in its most unguarded and authentic form. This path of Zen guides us not toward a destination of contrived self-improvement, but toward the liberation of simply being, wholly and effortlessly ourselves. Part 7. The Zen Art of Meditation, Embracing the World in Stillness. Meditation for many is a pursuit of clarity, a practice steeped in the aspiration to cleanse the mind or attain a state of enlightenment seemingly just beyond reach. However, Zen Buddhism invites us to reconsider the true purpose of meditation, proposing a paradigm shift from striving towards a goal to simply being in the moment. At the heart of Zen meditation is the principle that our essential nature is, from the outset, as pure and untouched as that of the Buddha. The pursuit of purification, therefore, becomes paradoxical, as it introduces desire into something inherently free from wants. The essence of meditation, known as Zazen, has evolved to become a cornerstone of contemporary Zen practice. Through Zazen, practitioners are encouraged to sit and observe the world with a sense of unfiltered openness, without seeking to change or interpret it. Imagine your mind as a river clouded by the sediment of daily thoughts and distractions. Left undisturbed, the turbidity settles, and clarity emerges naturally, without effort. This is the state Zazen aspires to achieve, not by forcefully emptying the mind or fixating on a singular point of concentration, but through a gentle awareness of the present. This practice is not about achieving a vacuum of thought, but cultivating a space where the mind and the external world converge without purpose or aim. Here, meditation transcends being a method for achieving something and becomes a way of simply existing within the world as it is. For Zen students, especially those engaged in the rigorous training of Zen schools, Zazen sharpens the mind for the intricate dance with koans, the enigmatic philosophical puzzles devoid of straightforward answers. These koans, such as the challenge to take the 4 divisions of Tokyo out of your sleeve, are not riddles to be solved with logic, but invitations to leap beyond conventional thinking. The act of dividing a handkerchief into 4, for instance, might emerge as a spontaneous response, revealing a deeper understanding. Thus, the disciplined practice of Zazen seeks to refine the practitioner's capacity for such spontaneous insight, fostering a state of mental acuity and purity. In this way, Zen meditation becomes not just an exercise in observation, but a doorway to profound realization, where the answers to koans manifest not from intellectual effort, but from an enlightened state of clear, present awareness. Through Zazen, we learn that to meditate is to immerse ourselves fully in the ebb and flow of existence, embracing the world exactly as it unfolds before us. Part 8. The Evocative Silence of Zen Art. In the realm of Zen, the adage that one showing is worth 100 sayings resonates deeply, especially when it comes to the expressive power of art. Zen art, in its essence, is an exploration of the aimless life, a concept that might be misconstrued by the Western lens as an empty or void existence. Contrary to this perception, Zen sees boundless freedom in what appears to be emptiness, and it is this very freedom that Zen art strives to encapsulate, utilizing the profound impact of empty space to convey a sense of liberation and ecstatic joy. At the heart of Zen's artistic expression is the delicate yet potent medium of sumie. This calligraphic style of painting, executed solely in nuanced shades of black ink derived from varying water concentrations, embodies the Zen principle of minimalism, the sparse application of ink, often leaving the majority of the canvas untouched save for a subtle ink wash, breathes life into the blank spaces, transforming them into mist-shrouded vistas that invite the viewer into a moment of quiet contemplation. This concept of emptiness, far from signifying a lack, instead celebrates the potential of the undefined and the unbounded. The punctuated presence of ink on canvas in sumie paintings emerges as if from the void, encapsulating the Zen tenet of spontaneity and the beauty of emergence from nothingness. Similarly, Zen poetry, particularly in the form of haiku, communicates depth through brevity. These succinct, three-line verses, often inspired by nature, stand as testaments to the influence of Zen thought. The distinction between a haiku that clumsily seeks to impart wisdom and one that subtly disturbs the tranquil surface of the reader's consciousness lies in its capacity to suggest rather than tell, to evoke rather than explain. In doing so, the haiku invites the listener into a dialogue with the unsaid, leveraging the power of what is left unarticulated to spark deeper reflection. Zen's influence extends beyond the canvas and the written word into the spatial art of architecture and garden design. Zen gardens, with their understated elegance, evoke the serenity and the rhythmic flow of nature without resorting to elaborate ornamentation. The absence of physical water features does not preclude the mental conjuring of a babbling brook. Such is the evocative power of Zen minimalism. Through the mediums of painting, poetry, and design, Zen art conveys the profound realization that the essence of existence, the truth of the moment, lies not in the accumulation of experiences or objects, but in the simplicity of the present. It teaches us to embrace the ephemeral, to find contentment in the transient, and to discover freedom in what might initially appear as emptiness. In this way, Zen art becomes not just a representation of Zen philosophy, but a gateway to experiencing the profound stillness and boundless freedom at the heart of the Zen way of life. Final summary. At its core, Zen Buddhism weaves together the threads of Taoist simplicity and the profound insights of Mahayana Buddhism, cultivating a rich tapestry of philosophy and practice. This unique spiritual path invites us into a world where the constructs of striving, purpose, and ambition dissolve into the clarity of simply being. Zen challenges us to look beyond the illusions and external desires that cloud our perception, urging us to find solace and understanding in the naked essence of the present. Zen's teachings illuminate a way of life marked by a deep appreciation for naturalness, spontaneity, and an encompassing sense of aimlessness, not as a lack of direction, but as an embrace of boundless freedom. It beckons us to step off the treadmill of ceaseless seeking and enter the serene landscape of now, where each moment is both an end and a beginning. Through the practice of Zen, from the stillness of meditation to the expressive silence of its art, we learn to dissolve the barriers that separate us from the raw beauty of existence. The journey into Zen is an invitation to experience life in its purest form, unburdened by the narratives we construct about who we are and what we must achieve. Engaging with Zen, we embark on an odyssey of self-discovery and transformation, where the ultimate destination is always the present, eternally unfolding, always accessible, and infinitely profound. This path doesn't seek to take us away from the world, but to deeper into it, with eyes wide open to the wonder and impermanence of it all. In essence, Zen offers not just a philosophy, but a practical guide to living fully, reminding us that true reality, the vibrant, luminous present, is the only place where life truly happens. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.